Last year, Pyromancer issued copyright strikes against me and threatened to sue me. And the reason why I remained quiet about all of that until now is because I believe that it would be a good thing. He would be a good thing, a net good for the Final Fantasy XIV community overall. I do now believe that I was wrong for keeping all this information from you. Now, I've defended Pyromancer publicly several times in several videos, but he doesn't actually view those videos or my previous words as a defense because I had nothing that I could really offer him, nothing that he could benefit or grow from in those videos. Now, the reason why I'm talking about this now is last night I got caught up on all the latest drama within the Final Fantasy XIV community, watching Xenos videos on the subject, and for me it became very clear that Pyromancer...
Before he talks about Pyromancer and what he believes his issues are or whatever, right, as you guys can see right here on the screen, I want to say that I myself have defended Pyromancer in the past, as seen not his epic gamer moments. This is like up to him. I have called Pyromancer a person who struggles to be, in my opinion, he should not be in the streaming business because he's a person that gets really heated really easily. And he gets one guide in the chat, he gets like overwhelmed, he has this burst. So like, ideally for Pyromancer, and I believe this was his highest moments, maybe I'm wrong, right? Maybe I'm making this up, but I believe that his highest points were when Pyromancer was doing his speculative lore videos in World of Warcraft. Now, arguably, people stopped giving a fuck about World of Warcraft, so this had like to change, and he went all aboard the Final Fantasy XIV hype, where like the lore and the speculation of Final Fantasy XIV is really well established in the game, so you don't necessarily need a lore speculation guy to tell you about speculating the lore, because you know the lore because the game tells it to you. So the situation with Pyro is that, in my opinion, he should have stuck to YouTubing instead of streaming, where in streaming, like, people can see like your imperfection. It's very easy to make a fool of yourself when you are out here in public. Like, it is what it is. Like, this is simply the reality of it, right? But let's see what he has to say about the core issues of Pyro. For me, it would be like the anger management situation a little bit, and getting one guide.
One of his core issues is that he actually really doesn't watch or really even listen to the videos about him. He just gets angry that people are talking about him because he wants to control the narrative around him, and it's only when that gets out of his wheelhouse or his control does he issue an apology video. And since my name came up and statements were made about me, I thought I would provide hopefully some clarity, some context, some compassion for the latest round of Final Fantasy XIV drama.
Okay, cool.
Now, I do want to take some time to address the accusations that I called Pyro a clown and that I was psychoanalyzing him or whatnot. But first, I really want to say this. If you like Pyro, support him.
Yes.
If you mod for him, that's great. I'm not here to change your mind or your view about him, but please do me one favor and add Pray for him to that list. That's the thing I think is immensely apparent, and that's something that I think we could all do that would be a net positive for Pyro and perhaps even the Final Fantasy XIV community overall. Mental health is no joke, and especially for men, feels way more important now than ever.
Before we get into the mental health, I want to say that it's nobody's responsibility to pray for him or to moderate him or like to, I don't know, like to do anything for him. If Pyromancer does not want to take care of himself first, if Pyromancer does not understand that he needs to control the narrative. This is his personality. If he doesn't control the narrative, he comes out as an obnoxious prick. Is this a problem? Some people may enjoy this, some people may not. Personally, I was watching a lot of Pyro back when he did lore speculation videos, and later on, I stopped doing that because, to me, again, this is an opinion. Everybody is entitled to one. Everybody has an opinion. To me, Pyromancer started seeming more and more like a dick. Okay, like that's my take on the matter. Started to seeing like aspects of his character that didn't show in the YouTube videos. And it doesn't matter, I will say this, it doesn't matter if you're a dick when what you're saying is true, or when what you're saying is factually correct, or when you're saying what you're saying, you can back it up, right? The problem with Pyromancer is that he gets offended, and then he goes personal, and then he starts speaking out of his ass, and when he starts speaking out of his ass, people call him out for speaking out of his ass. Like if I come out here and start saying and spewing random shit, you guys, at least I'm betting on that you would say, hey, you know what, Baldy, just stop saying shit. You have no fucking idea what you're talking about, right? And this is where I believe the situation starts going south. As for the mental health issue, nobody's responsible for your mental health issue. You want to fix it, you should fix it. I'm not talking about to you, like, specifically, right? But this applies to all of us. To all of us. Like, we choose our lives. If the guy decides to act like this, and he doesn't take into consideration his mental health, I don't give a fuck. Like, I have no problem calling anybody a clown. The person that is being called a clown, though, it depends. It's up to him to learn how to take that insult or that compliment, because there will be out there people out there that will find you unbelievably beautiful, and there are also people out there that will find you vehemently ugly, right? If however you deal with a compliment or however you deal with the criticism is up to you. Okay, so no, I'm not gonna cater to what I consider to be a man child's emotions personally, right? In this case, because he cannot control his actions, or because he feels like he has to control the narrative. And until you say like a clown and you point to yourself, but you're a 16-year-old kid, and you, in my eyes, have more emotional maturity than this guy. Oppa headset. Yeah, it's from 2015. Hello. Sishine is wearing a rainbow. Yeah, it is. It is a headset from 2015, guys. I didn't buy new ones. It's just like the super old ones broke, and these ones used to have broken. But I put them in my drawer for years, and then they started working. They started working again.
We need to be real with each other online, and we need to continue to encourage him or anyone else out there struggling, because there is plenty of things to be struggling with right now, to put in the hard work. Right now, we have an epidemic of loneliness. And for me, while many people don't want to talk about it as a crisis, there is a crisis unfolding before our very eyes, especially when it comes to masculinity and what it means to be a man. So please, if you don't like,
What does it mean to be a man? Let's try to answer this. What does it mean to be a man? Well, like there are many words being used here that I don't know if they should be treated lightly. But what does it mean to be a man? Is man the man, like, like the macho man that goes and works out all day every day? Is man the guy that does steroids? Is man the guy that hooks up with a lot of girls? What exactly makes a man? I believe that what makes a man is what the man feels himself, right? I believe that's also what makes a woman. A woman feels that whatever a woman feels, that's what a woman is, and that's pretty much it. That's how it goes, right? I think that we're using a little bit too much of the fancy words right here with Ginger Prime. Not particularly like, I don't get this. I think we're like, what are we gonna like to psychoanalyze and delve deep into Pyromancer's, you know, uh, psychology and personality? People find him a dick, or people don't find him a dick. People find him entertaining, or people don't find him entertaining.
Pyro, stop attacking him. If you see him, be polite to him. Treat him as a fellow broken human being.
I disagree. I disagree. When you see a fucking Dumbo that is doing stupid shit, and while you see, like, the problem with Pyromancer is that some of his opinions have collateral damage. He's a guy, he comes out here, he becomes a public persona. When I come out here in front of this camera and broadcast to you, doesn't matter how big or small the audience is, I take into consideration that everything I say can be taken out of context, be criticized at any point, be used to hurt me, or to praise me. I take into consideration all of those things. If you're not cut out for this job, don't fucking do it. Do not tend to anyone's, like, oh, you should be kind to him. You should be kind to someone because he's a fellow human being, yes. However, when that fellow human being has proven to be a prick, screw it. Shiny, you're always taken out of context, but I'm fine with that. I find it funny. Parry should just suck it up and end his career. It's not gonna stop magically when he's blaming him being an awful person in HD. It's not gonna be it's not gonna be a really long career then, is it, Mr. Bean guy? Like, how do you see Pyromancer working? Like, I understand what you're saying, and you do kind of make a point, right? But, well, would you hire Pyromancer? Personally, I wouldn't hire fucking Pyromancer, man. Like, I wouldn't hire him. I wouldn't trust this guy with my job whatsoever. No, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I would rather hire someone else personally, right? And as for this, like, again, collateral damage has to be taken into consideration. When this guy is outside broadcasting, like, live broadcasting to 600, 700 people, 300, doesn't matter, even 5 people, okay? Have a media platform on which you express your opinion, right? When you go around and you start attacking people, didn't he like talk shit about TNE before, and then he talked shit about Zepla, and then he talked shit about Xenosis? Like, you can put a tuxedo on a goat, but in the end, it's still a fucking goat, right? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying about Pyro. Like, he can change the narrative however the fuck he wants, but in the end, like, give someone enough time and they will show their true colors.
I get that there's entertainment in trying to meme on and get him to kind of rant or explode. That's what many people within his community say the reason why they follow him and watch him. They're there.
He cultivated this. He made this to himself. Asmongold used to be full. His community used to be full of toxic people. Do you know how he? I'm not saying he doesn't have any toxic people. Again, the guy has more viewers than my city has citizens. Okay, like the entire population of my town is less than the viewers that Asmongold has in every fucking stream. However, he lowered the toxicity of his stream very, very easily. How? Started banning the bitch boys. That's it. Be less toxic. Find yourself, then keep on progressing, and we see how we get from there. Okay? But this right here, oh, he's surrounded by negative people. He made this. He made this to himself.
There to egg him on until he explodes and has another viral
Yep.
moment. That's personally very concerning, but I'm going to let you decide how you want to engage with content creators. Now, that all being said, I'd like to now clarify some of the statements brought up against me. First, I do not recall calling him a clown. I do recall calling him a child after he went on some kind of tirade about me because I defended him. However, looking back at it now, if I did call him a clown, I will actually stand by that statement.
Yep.
We are all clowns. We're all like, from an entertainment perspective, like that's kind of the idea behind it. And it feels like there's some kind of friction between the understanding of what all is happening and what it means to be a content creator versus anything else. You put yourself in a public space, you open yourself up to conversation, to whatever this is, commentary, like that is a part of it. And so, yeah, I think that he's a clown. I think we are all clowns to some degree. Now, second, I don't really view myself actually as an entertainer, even though that's a part of what it means to be a content creator. Outside of my stand-up comedy, I view myself more as an educator than anything else. In all of my defenses of Pyro, where they were all I was really trying to teach people how to forgive, and that it is understandable to get angry. Hell, I get angry. But the other aspects of the educator in me is what we all know to be part of the Final Fantasy XIV community, the classic rug pull. Pyro had massive numbers. And when it came to, when he came into the scene, the question that we were all asking was, how big is the rug pull going to be once he finishes the story, once he's all caught up? And we got our answer.
I mean, everybody knows this. Like, it's commonly known that in Final Fantasy XIV, MSQ Andes really feed your stream. Like, you're gonna make, you can make money out of this. You can make money out of this, okay? Like, even as a tiny stream, my highest point in my streaming pseudo career, because come on, like, I'm tiny, right? Has been with Final Fantasy XIV MSQ moments. Like, the finale of 6.0 was massive. I made I'm not rich, right? But I made as much money as I made in 3 months in that 1 month from streaming alone, right? Maybe more. Like, going back into those months where like my income was even lower, it was a significant boost to my financial status. Like, it really helped me a lot. So you see this and you see yourself like popping, like, popping on, popping off. But you should also know that it is a high point, like, there is no way you will be able to follow this up afterwards. Like, I knew that once 6.0 ended, the trajectory would become more normalized, right? Like, you can see this, it's not just in streaming in Final Fantasy XIV, you can see it everywhere, right? So, like, something controversial happens, the media on the TV are starting to stockpile on it, right? It pops off, it gets blown out of proportion, and by the third or fourth day, nobody gives a fuck, right? No matter what type of event happened, whether it was something really, really funny or something atrocious, by day number 4, people are bored. Okay, how long is it gonna last at the in best case scenario? A week? 2 weeks? Then it's, back to fucking normal. So Pyro, being the developer that he was, not the developer, my apologies, the content creator that he was before that moment, before picking up 14, he just probably, I'm speculating here, didn't know how to carry on from there, So you had it came out as hostility because when you see numbers go down, you need to be able to manage it, right? You need to be able to understand what's going. And in the end, there is this possibility that you are simply not as entertaining as you thought you were. There is that possibility. There is a possibility that you simply overvalued yourself, right? And I believe one of the problems, not problems actually, I don't want to put it out as a problem, but one of the reality checks that Pyromancer had after 6.0 was an ego check. Like, people saw him and they were like, okay, yeah, sure, like, you're good, you're funny, yeah, but, like, not that good, right? And he saw it and he got offended instead of, like, trying to find it the way to grow from that. And that's why the trajectory is going south. Like, when you try to milk someone with ads, like, dude, what are you doing? People are there for the highlight of 6.0. And instead of you, like, leaving the game, instead of you having the moment of your life, instead of you, like, leaving that fucking hype, you come out as a hypocritical bitch that plays ads during the cinematics to make people subscribe. There are people from countries out there that cannot subscribe to you because of the money difference. $5 for some countries is nothing. $5 for other countries are a lot. I live in the Balkan Peninsula. I'm Greek. We have neighbors, okay, North Macedonians, Serbians. We have countries that $5 is a noticeable amount. Okay, you can't just fucking expect people to pay you. Like, in the end, you come out here, you're trying to make this a living. I understand, but you should never expect people to give you money. The viewers owe you nothing. You owe everything to the viewers, okay? Because that's how you make your money. That's how you get what you get, okay? Your viewers owe you fuck all. The moment they disagree with you, they have every single right to click that X. Heck, they don't even need a reason to click that X. Maybe they don't care about you anymore. $5 here is half the week groceries price here. Yeah, this is an example, okay? And you're from Poland, right? You're from fucking Poland. And Polish people are one of the best financially countries when it comes to the Eastern Bloc, okay? Like, you guys are doing better than Romania or Moldavia, right? And Moldavia in Greek, Moldova, probably, right? I don't like, the English version of the country. Then you have like Austria, who is super duper fine. Hungary, not as much, Then Slovenia, situation presents itself. So yeah, like, the price is subjective. Jesus Christ, like, he came out as a dick because in the end, maybe that's what he was.
It was absolutely massive.
It was.
And this was fueled by his lack of understanding of that it was coming. Because one of the things that we've learned through my interactions with him is he really doesn't listen unless you have something he wants. And so when I sat down to talk about his analytics, that was fueled by me, hopefully, to try and help you understand. Imagine if your paycheck got cut in half. Imagine if all of a sudden, like, you were putting in more work and getting less money. Like, as a man, as a provider, that is absolutely stressful. That happened to me last year. Growing up, I watched my dad and family go through it. We lost everything. I watched my dad lay on the couch because he couldn't move because of depression for a year. And that still affects me today. It impacts my choices. It impacts how I approach things. And so with empathy and sincerity.
Yes, but you grew from that. So, like, that's the problem. We have all had those shit, okay? I don't want to, like, come out here and say about all this personal stuff I've been through. We have been through stuff. You have been through stuff. He has been through, she has been, all of us have been through stuff. It's how you deal with that stuff. It's how you grow from that stuff. It's how you get molded by that stuff that makes you who you are. And, you know, in trajectory, who you will be. Pyro hasn't learned about those stuff. And that's why I don't give a crap about him. Like, right here, Ginger Prime is talking about how he's trying to help someone, right? About how he wanted to help a fellow human being. I've worked as a lifeguard. I know. I may or may not have worked as a tutor, a professor. I know. Okay? There are some people that you simply cannot help. You can help no one if that specific person doesn't want to get help themselves. Okay? You can give them everything, you can give them the world, and they will still find out what's missing. Greed, okay? And personality. Injured Ginger, like the retard that dropped 14 for New World. I don't know who he is. This is the first video I watched from him. What he's saying right here, I can see him being fairly emotional about it. This is my first time watching any of his videos. And you know what? I can see what he's trying to do. And I think he's simply delving too deep. In the end, maybe Pyro is just an asshole. Like, I can get what you that you prefer WoW, ESO, or whatever, but fucking New World. New World, like, you meme about this, like, Mr. Bean, but New World is one of the games that has been getting progressively better the past few months. Like, arguably, it could not have gotten worse, right? But this is what we said about World of Warcraft Wrath of the Lich King Classic, or World of Warcraft, and it just kept getting fucking worse, right? Check out Bobby Kotick's situation about how, like, Bobby Kotick doubled down on, like, oh, Blizzard, like, the scandals were not what you guys thought, like, the media overplayed it. You can keep hitting rock bottom. Where am I going with this? New World has had their rising trend. Like, when New World launched, it was terrible, yes? Then it started to become less and less terrible. I'm not gonna call it a good game. I'm not gonna call it a good MMO. I haven't played it, but it's less dogshit than it used to be. And that's the voice of the community. If the community of a game says that it is less dogshit than it used to be, I will believe them, personally, right? And all I have to do is hope and wait for Amazon Game Studios to release a new MMO. Will it be like Blue Protocol? Will it be the Lord of the Rings MMO, the new one? We will see if they got better or worse as a studio. But New World it got better. It got better. Okay. So yeah, like I'm not judging that MMO. I hope that more MMORPGs get to do that. They get better. Heck, I don't know if, like, you mentioned ESO, and I think this month is the month that the expansion comes live, the new one. But I haven't watched anything about it. Like, I've got no idea. The Lord of the Rings MMO is the most schizophrenic shit ever. Maybe, maybe. Like, I guess we will find out because we currently know nothing other than I actually have a video I forgot to publish. Right, I literally uploaded it weeks ago or days ago, I don't know, May 21st. It's like a week plus ago, and I kind of forgot to publish it. Okay, like, it's what we know, it's everything we know about it. So I will just check this thing out. The director of the game said, yeah, it won't be anything like old Lord of the Rings, so but we expect everyone to move over. That I've heard from Joe Strife Hayes, amazing creator, you should check him out. And yeah, I don't want to digress because, like, we're watching this video right now, but I understand what you're talking about. That was really weird. Like, the guy that said that doesn't get MMO gamers at all. Like, WoW Classic still has a massive population. Old school RuneScape has a massive population. It doesn't simply work like that.
I feel for Pyro, and that's all that was. But I don't think he heard that. I don't think he's hearing it now. And I can't control that, and that's okay, because I literally, when you put something out in the world, it is what it is. You can't control how people interact with it and how they engage with it and how they perceive it. That's the risk of putting anything in a public space. Let's continue on. I could go on a whole other, like, rant about that, because I start to get, like, it's personal for me, and the feel, and if I did, like, wasn't clear enough, like, that's on me. Let's be real.
Why did it get personal? Like, I really wonder why this guy decided to make it personal. You make it personal to help someone you don't know? Someone you don't care about? Like, let me give you guys an extreme, okay? What if Pyro died tomorrow? I'm not wishing that, it's nothing to do with that. What if he died tomorrow? How would your life change? It wouldn't. What if tomorrow he became the richest man alive? How would your life change? It wouldn't. Why would you go out of your way to help someone that you don't know at all? Because of what? Of what they project on the internet? No, no. This is, in my opinion, a bit kind of weird on Ginger Prime's side. Like, why? Like, who the fuck are you? Like, are you fucking, I don't know, like, are you Robin Hood going around to help people? Right? Nah.
Like, I can always look back and see how I can improve and how I can communicate this. Perhaps it would have been a better use of my time to not just show Pyro's numbers, but show other content creators who've had that same kind of rug pull.
Or perhaps instead of you could have checked it out yourself, right? Why deal with this guy? The guy is volatile as shit, right?
He was just bigger than everybody else.
Okay.
So for him, it felt more personal. And it was only then fueled by his lack of understanding. Like, he then sees everything, and that puts that pressure on, and then he explodes.
Yes.
And then he explodes again. And then he gets, in my personal view to this day, attacked by the Final Fantasy XIV community, by the trolls reporting him, which that happens all the time. And that's not fair. That's wrong to call out. It's wrong. It's wrong to say, like, that should not happen. But at the same time, these other things still aren't also excusable.
I don't know, man. Like, if everywhere you go smells like shit, maybe the world is not shitty. Maybe you have crap your pants. Like, if he gets reported, if the Final Fantasy XIV shits on him, maybe that's a him issue right there, not the communities. Why? I haven't seen those trolls. Trolls tried to do whatever they did with Asmongold, and then they got fucking banned, and then that stopped. I mean, Asmongold also quit 14, right? But while he was playing it, these guys were like done. And I haven't said that. I haven't heard the troll situation with Zepla, with Desperius, with fuck. What was like the Asian guy, like Arthur's, right? With Xenos. Is there any game community that doesn't shit on Pyro? Let's start with that. Yeah. Like there's also that. The guy's like, that's what I'm saying. That's exactly my point. Thank you. Like you put it in much better words than I would have tried to. I would have like gone on and on and on, and you just put it out in a sentence.
And I did say that he should get a ban, and people interpreted that as a permaban. Just note that growing up, like, bans were never permanent. There was always the permaban. Like, that's just the nomenclature that I use when thinking of it, like a 3-day ban, because I don't think content creators should have special privileges. They shouldn't be separate because of the marketing value they provide to any specific game. And
shouldn't and won't are fundamentally different. You can say that they shouldn't, and this is a subjective statement. This is an opinion. Want makes it objective. It will keep on happening because, as he mentioned, content creators, big ones especially, have a market value for the company. If the product is good, and I come out here and I say about how the product is good, if I give exposure to the game, publicity is going to do good to the game. I expect to get different treatment. Well, not I, because again, tiny. But a big creator will see it like this. It's opportunistic. Both of them win. One makes money, the other makes money. That's life. Someone gotta pay the bills, right?
Being that he was violating terms, that's why I was like, you know what, it'd be fair, take your 3-day ban. Literally, you would grow from it. Like, we've seen, like, bans, like, don't hurt content creators. They're gifts to content creators.
Yeah, because it sparks, like, controversy. People will be defending him. You will have people talking about you. It's kind of like what happened with Andrew Tate, where like you have like the pro Andrew Tate and the anti Andrew Tate, and these guys were creating a ruckus. Who benefited from that? Andrew Tate. Why? Because he kept getting talked, and that's how he got exposed to more and more people, right? So yeah,
this is essentially kind of the logic that I had going into it. So I stated that. I want to clarify that here for you today. Now, I could be wrong. I don't believe personally that he actually has threatened to sue Xeno or Asmongold or Zepla or anyone with a bigger number than him. Heck, based off
of the subtitles on the video is it hurts me. Xeno
or Asmongold or Zepla
Zappala, right?
Anyone with a bigger number than him. Heck, based off of Xeno and Pyro's own words, it really personally to me felt like he was bragging about being a part of Asmongold's podcast and all of these things. I didn't feel like I heard an apology, but that's just my perspective, okay? Anyway, my personal perspective, like I said,
Mustn't even bother to do it himself. It just also generated it. Yeah, That's like kind of what I'm saying here, right? Because, but it's okay. Like this is like it feels more like a podcast than an actual video, right? As for Xenos and as for apologies, nobody owes anyone an apology. Like, let's take me and all of you guys here in the chat, okay? I apologize to one of you. What does it mean? Nothing. Fuck all. It means fuck all. Okay? Heck, it means more to you than it means between two content creators that have never interacted before, that have never done anything before. They don't know how, like, you have friends, okay? If you don't have friends, I mean, you definitely have had friends at some point in your life, right? What do you do with your friends? You know how you touch, like, you know how they feel, okay? You know how they fucking smell, okay? Like I was gonna make a joke here, but I'm not gonna make a joke. But you know how they spell, you know how they feel, you know the sounds of their voices in real life. You interact with them, you get all the micro expressions, right? What are you on? What are you talking about? The day Shiny apologies will be the end of the world. Yeah. Zena said last time when they had the trauma that he didn't want an apology because he didn't really care. Being that I don't like Zeno, I like that stance, not gonna lie. Exactly. Like, and nobody on the internet comes out here and apologizes to you. And nobody on the internet comes out here and talks shit about you. And nobody on the internet comes out here and gives you a compliment. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Well, to Pyro probably does, but it doesn't objectively matter. What they think about you doesn't matter. What the only thing that matters is what you think about you and how you act on what you think about you and how you act about your life and how you progress with your life. For you, not for me. Not for me. Doesn't matter. I live today, I die tomorrow. Doesn't matter. Life will keep on going, right? Only yourself matters to you, bottom line. Ginger Prime here gets really like close and personal with an absolute stranger, and to me it kind of feels like weird, as in, why would you do that? Why? I would get this close and personal towards a friend. I wouldn't get this close and personal towards a nobody. Oh, Pyromancer is not a nobody. He's a fucking nobody. He's a fucking nobody. In the long term of things, Pyromancer, me, like Asmongold, he's a massive one, right? We will go down in the end of history as nobodies. And it's fine. We're just here to make people laugh. We're here to speculate. We're here to have fun, right? We're here to discuss. We're here to do all those things. But it's a fucking stranger. Why would you? I didn't get it.
Is that for Pyro, I feel like it's all about control. He wants to control the narrative and the public perception of this. And the thing that doesn't really make sense to me, and I'm going to share with you guys here, and you guys can decide, etc. When Pyro gets angry, it's not like he isn't sharing things that have some degree of truth to them, right? When the thing he gets angry, when you listen to his words, I don't think he's very gracious.
He's spiteful. He's a mean fucker. I don't know if Pyro got bullied in his life. It comes out to me personally. Again, this is a speculation. This is how I feel. I'm not saying that's how it is, but to me it comes out like a really mean guy. A guy that has had all this spite, all this hate inside of him, which personally it exhausts me just like thinking about it. Like, think about, dude, how miserable can your life be? I'm not talking about Pyromancer again, I'm generalizing. How miserable can your life be if you're so full out of spite? Like, can you imagine? Can you imagine how terrible you make your own life by living on the negative side, leaning on the negative side? Jesus Christ. Yeah, but every single time he gets angry, it's just like such, he's so obnoxious, right? At least from my perspective. And I'm not talking shit. I'm saying what I feel, what I see. I'm not degrading the guy. He has his opinion. He can call me a bald ass bitch if he wants to, right? But I don't care. It's just how it comes out to me.
I don't think he's very empathetic when he's ranting, but he's saying things that aren't fundamentally.
He's saying things. It comes out to me as if he's saying things to hurt you. He doesn't like say things to defend himself. He doesn't say things to support his opinion, his POV. he's saying things that negatively affect the other party, or to paint them in a negative picture. So when I was in high school, I had an excellent professor. Okay, this excellent professor, when he would teach me like Greek, obviously, um, he told me about what means of persuasion you can use to persuade another party, another person. It was to appeal to logic, and appealing to logic has a lot of ways, like by rationality, giving examples, so on and so forth. Um, it was appeal to emotion, which is illogical. You're simply trying to manipulate the person. Okay, it is to appeal to the virtue of him who speaks. So, like if you're the speaker, you use yourself not as an authority. That's a different one. That's number four. Okay, but you appeal to yourself as, it's like, guys, do you really think me? I'm that type of a person. That's what appealing to your virtues is, all right? Then you have like appeal to authority, and then finally you have to attack the other person's ethos. I will give a very extreme example here. If you're having a political debate with a Nazi, um, you would resort to the last method, okay, to attack their ethos, because you would be like, what the fuck do you know? You're a fucking Nazi. Your guys were responsible for the death of 80 million people, right? So this is what you would do in that situation. I feel that Pyromancer follows that tactic more than appeal to logic or appeal to, which is in the end what works. Not works, sorry, what matters. Unfortunately, what works is appealing to emotion and manipulation, but that's besides the point. Because, well, humans are emotional beings. But what when you're watching a debate, when you're watching a heated moment, when you're watching two people argue, you're expecting to hear or listen about appeal to logic, not even appeal to authority has been fucking um getting rejected since the fucking enlightenment years. Like, I'm an expert. I don't give a shit if you're an expert. If you don't give me something that is scientifically backed up, your opinion is an opinion and it's not a fact. And it ends there.
False. Like the latest thing apparently is about him dogging on small streamers. I think he could
What
have
do you mean?
stated it differently, but it's hard for small streamers.
Oh, when he was talking shit. Okay, so like in Twitter, he said that if you don't average at least 3 to 5 viewers, stop giving like opinion. Your opinion doesn't matter, which I can understand his perspective, right? He's like, you don't know anything about the business. Well, I mean, sure, I agree. They're trying to learn. But Pyromancer, you don't know anything about the business because you were here and now you're here. So if you knew anything, you wouldn't be down here, right? Dude.
And for some people, small streamers, maybe they don't really care to be the biggest streamer
Yes.
out there. Maybe, yeah, there is a difference between somebody who's got 100 and somebody who's got 1,000 active viewers. So I think he could have said it better, but there is still a fundamental truth that it's like a small streamer is somebody, like how I would say it, it's like they're on their way up. Let's not discourage them. Let's try to teach them some of the things and questions they have.
They may also be just doing it as a side project. That doesn't mean that a small streamer is trying to live it up, right? I've said it before. If I get fucking famous, I would do the exact same thing that I do. Okay, like maybe I would hire fucking editor, like the fucking business situations, right? But other than the business situation and the business ordeal, I would do the same thing. I'm not someone that I don't spend a lot of money in my life. I've learned to be content with what I have. Learned to be in peace with what I have. It doesn't matter to me. Like, sure, I will enjoy a ribeye steak. Ribeye steaks are amazing. They're delicious. Okay, but I don't have to eat like ribeye steak. I don't have to. It's not like if I had the choice to eat a ribeye steak every day, I wouldn't. I would still not eat ribeye steak every day because it's a waste of money. It's a waste of resources. I would try to stick to more normal food, to more like instead of like all this luxury. And there's like so much money that you can do. There is so much thing you can do when you have money instead of like just fucking burning them, right? So people don't really want to necessarily pop off. In my case, if I manage to make streaming self-sustainable, I will consider this as a massive success because I see me able to do this up until the day I fucking die, right? In that theoretical scenario in which I may or may not be a home tutor, I thought to myself, can you teach until you die. And we're like, no, the thought of doing, the thought of teaching up until I fucking die, or like up until the age of 70, makes me want to kill myself. So like, no, fuck that, dude. Like I'm having a career change right there, right? So you don't know what one man's success means or another man's success is, or like someone may be getting 5 viewers to CV and they can be happy about it.
Putting themselves out there, that should be celebrated.
No, it shouldn't. It shouldn't be celebrated and it shouldn't be judged. It simply is what it is. It's a decision.
It should be celebrated, right? But it comes off, at least from, and again, I don't want to relitigate that whole mess. It's like, comes off that he's, saying like, you might as well give up. And I don't agree with that. But it's different for somebody who's got 5.
A suggestion and a piece of advice from a random guy on the internet, a baldy, me. Never give a fuck about what people tell you about how to live your life. If I tell you to give up on this and pick up that one, don't listen to me. Listen to me to the extent that you will think about my suggestion, and if you don't like it, fuck it. Oh, the phone just rang. And then fuck it. Like, I am not you, right? I don't know what you want or how you want to live your life. If I give you a piece of advice and it doesn't work out, I will not have to suffer the consequences of that decision. You will. So, people that give you advice that you don't want to listen, Shiny quit WoW play 14. Yeah, that kind of happened, and now we're like back at the 180 where like I quit 14 and play WoW, right? But the situation is, see how it affects you in your life. If your dream is to become a dancer, and someone tells you you can't dance, fuck them. What the fuck do they know? Like, take into consideration the background of the person as well. Like, if it's a professional dancer that has been dancing for years, and he sees you that you are off rhythm, and he's like, you are one of the vast minority of people that cannot feel the rhythm, thus you cannot dance, and he bucks it up, maybe you should listen to that guy. But if he just Bobby, that's a fucking teacher, that's not even happy with his life, and he spends most of his day arguing with his students, what the fuck does Bobby know about you wanting to become a dancer? Right? That's what I'm saying.
5 viewers versus someone who's got 1,000, especially when it comes to like ads and revenue, and that's where this whole thing gets messy, personally speaking. Now, I've shared, because the belief is that he had people are making content around him just to make money. I've shared how much money that generated, and it was bupkis. It was nothing.
What's wrong with people making money around you? This gives you exposure. Asmongold has no issue with people reacting to his content, and he has actively said that if people don't want him to react to their content, all they have to do is tell him, and that it won't happen again. This is the case. This has been the case with Taliesin and Evital.
Make way more money in content by doing the things that I love. Educating people as a software engineer, building guides, having these great like community feedbacks, not this drama stuff. This isn't what I want. This isn't the attention I want. But I feel like I have the ability to speak from a perspective of empathy, from a perspective of, understanding the context, what's going on around them, like as both a content creator, as a man, as a provider, as somebody who, likes attention, like all of these things. I think I can bring that and to provide some like level of encouragement for compassion. But that doesn't align with his worldview. Again, like,
people have to earn that right for people to feel compassion about them. Not everyone deserves compassion. I'm sorry, but like, this is life. Okay? Not everyone has to succeed. Not everyone deserves compassion. Not everyone deserves the same treatment. It is what it is. This is life. When someone is being nice to you, you will show them compassion. When someone who has been really nice to you has an anger moment, you will justify them once. You will justify them twice. But in the end, the guy's a piece of shit. The real colors will come out in the end. Right? So, no. Not necessarily. You show compassion to those that deserve compassion. Those that you deem that deserve compassion. You cannot just simply offer compassion to everybody. You know, like, can you imagine how it would be if I came out here and showed compassion about fucking Stalin? Huh? Yeah, that wouldn't go well, would it? Yeah, especially taking into consideration that the guy has been responsible for the deaths of millions of Soviet people. I'm not even talking about what he did globally. I'm talking about what his own people, right? So yeah, some people don't deserve compassion. Fuck that. No, we're good. We move past that.
My number's smaller, so it doesn't necessarily matter. Bigger number of people, oh, let's get together and collab and things like that. That does kind of hurt me. I'm not gonna, I'm being honest here. Like that hearing that was frustrating.
Okay.
Personally, but it is what it is. So, for me, here's my concern, right? So Pyro keeps telling us that streaming is bad for him. Okay, man. Like that sucks, right? But he also keeps telling us he's in therapy. Okay? Is anyone telling him that it's okay not to stream? I like attention.
He gotta make the bills. It's not as easy, right? He gotta make the bills.
Like anybody else. That's where I'm concerned. My concern here is that he's stuck. He can't stop streaming because he doesn't have another avenue. And so hopefully, like, when it comes down to it, I get that attention could be addicting, right? Like any other drug out there. But I do find this statement about him being in therapy, and I have a hard time reconciling it because what he's doing is dangerous for him, right?
If you need the validation of people and the attention from people to keep on living your life, you're in a tough spot, you're in a bad situation, you should quit everything and reevaluate your life. I was gonna say it was addictive and definitely not his best interest. Yes, but again, if you feel like the need for people to validate you, quit everything and reevaluate your life. Stop everything you're doing. Because what I say to you doesn't fucking matter. My approval, my rejection doesn't fucking matter. In the end, every night when you turn off the light and when you lie down on your bed and we're about to go to sleep, it's you and your thoughts. And your thoughts can either be angels or your thoughts can be demons. And no matter of how positive I am towards you, you will have to suffer your demons and your angels at night alone. Okay? So no. I understand what he's saying, but dude, Pyromancer is not 7. He's not 11. He's not 17. He's not 20. Okay? He's an old ass motherfucker like myself. When I say this expression, man up and suck up to your own actions and your consequences, I mean it exactly like this. Fucking man up and decide, you know what? Hey, our life ain't going well, man. Gotta fix this. Don't tell me you're in therapy. Don't tell me you're in fuck therapy. I don't give a shit about therapy. About your therapy, sorry. Let me give you an example, okay? What would you do if you were addicted to a substance? I have spent I've been addicted to substances in the past. Like not too much, but I have had this addiction situation. What do you do? What do you do? You stop it. You stop it. You change your life. You have a new game, okay? When I had this situation where like I was working 9 to 11 hours a day, and then I would come back and I would do a more like hardcore mythic raiding, right? To go and get cutting edge and all this shit. I ended up becoming 65 kilograms. I became a frail human being. I was super stressed all the time. I would sleep at maximum 6 hours a day. I would have one meal a day. I was weak, okay? I was weak physically and mentally. Who changed that? I did. You could have told me, oh man, you should quit, you should do. It doesn't matter what you would have told me. If I don't feel it, if I don't embrace it, and I'm like, you know what, dude? I remember my thoughts. I told myself, dude, you're gonna fucking die. One meal a day, which is a burger and 2 beers, combined with a whole lot of stress, is what gets you a heart attack at the age of 30. Stop it and move on. And that's what kind of happened. I stopped playing World of Warcraft back then. I picked up working out. I started listening to music. I read books. I detest studying. I detest reading. I read books. I grew from it as a person. Okay? It was my responsibility. I had to man up. Every one of us have to do it for themselves. We can support people. that are worthy of our support. I would support Billy. I will read your message, by the way. I would support Billy. Because Billy and I have been knowing each other for about, like, I don't even know how fucking much. Like, it's been a fucking decade or something. Like, I don't know, maybe 8 years or something. Yeah, I'd fucking support Billy. I'd fucking support Billy if I agreed with what he was saying. If I didn't agree, I would tell him. I would personally tell him, yo, Billy, in my opinion, no, bad idea. Bad idea, you know? But that's how it's happening, you know? That's how stuff goes. You have to do it. And friends help you by enabling or disabling you. If I would see Billy going to do something that was, in my opinion, bad for his life, I would tell him, bro, in my opinion, maybe reconsider it. But you know what? If you feel you wanna do it, fucking do it. Because in the end, my advice will simply be an advice. Billy will have to live his life with that consequence of that action that he may or may not take. But not for Pyro. I don't give a fuck about Pyro. He tells me he's in therapy, and I'm like, yeah, that's good. That makes me happy for you. It's not an excuse. It's a good thing. You're deciding to take a step and better yourself to listen to your damn therapist. As this guy is saying, if the therapist is aware of Pyro's streaming habits and isn't advising against it, they're not doing a fantastic job. Exactly. It's getting there now. We've discussed a fair amount of things for real, and I hope we get to discuss more. Like, my interactions with you, my interactions with AD, my interactions with Bodrick, who I got to know like this year, right? My interaction with Mr. Bean, with Livana, have helped me enrich and make my perspective and perception of reality different. Okay, I've grown from that. I've grown because I've grown older, obviously, but you guys also helped up to a degree, some more, some less, cultivate that which I am today, you know? And I'm fucking thankful for that. I'm fucking thankful for all of my friends, right? I'm fucking thankful for everybody that I have around me. Why? Because this is what I have cultivated. I made this. I attract these types of people. These types of people mold me in a way that I am happy being molded into, right? It's a shaping. Like you're my sculptor up to an extent. I'm your sculptor up to an extent. You know. Then we sculpt another friend, and then he sculpt another, and then like you grow. If you're surrounded with people that sculpt you in the wrong way, okay, like they do with Pyro, trying to see him become like, you know, pop off, have an epic gamer moment. I'm sorry. This is more about Pyro than about his community.
Now, this is all my assumption, but I would think or hope that a good therapist would help him come up with a plan to at least transition away from live streaming so much. Not to stop, but so much. And I think it's the same.
No, to stop. To stop. When you're addicted to something, you stop. When you're addicted to alcohol, you stop or you fucking die. When you're addicted to heroin, you stop or you fucking die. If we're going to treat this as a drug, which I mean, it's not arguably, it's not as serious as alcohol addiction or heroin addiction is or gambling addiction, but you stop. You don't lower it, you stop. I don't know if you guys have examples in real life. I know of someone, okay? He was like, he was a gamble addict, okay? But I don't know if he still is. We cut all ties with that person, okay? Friend of my family's, his sons. I know his sons. I kind of hanged around with his older son, and my brother and his younger son are kind of friends. Okay, like really close friends. Okay, that guy, dude, he lost so much money in gambling. When he went like, come on, man, like let's fucking gamble on just like a dice, you know, like it's just like a sports bet and stuff. No. Immediately you go back to where you were before you stopped. Now, the addiction is meant to be stopped, cut, and that's it.
Essentially, he's kind of chasing that old high of those big numbers.
Yep.
Back when Twitch was paying out wildly. But it's not just for him; it's for everybody that's like a streamer right now. Like, man, like it's tough for them. Like I've talked to many of you guys. The problem is like, in terms of thinking about it as
the problem with streaming is that if you were a streamer before COVID, during COVID, and after COVID, you lived your all-time high. So you need to realize that, that was a situation. It's over. Everybody was indoors, everybody was watching streamers, everybody then started streaming, like, it was what it was, okay? Like, the viewer base, like, grew exponentially. and then COVID stopped, and everything became more normalized again. It is what it is. When people can't go outside, they're gonna seek entertainment inside, indoors. What is there? Twitch.
As a business, like if you run your own business, which I have, it's like publicly everything's going great, but behind the scenes you're like, we're trying to figure this all out. So there is that sense of like not being able to be your true self. I think when Pyro's angry, like that's his true self. But anyway, I hope that, you know, all of those things are true. I want to continue, and we should continue to encourage him to put in the work. Now, furthermore, here's where things kind of get weird as well. Pyro banned Chris, my friend Chris.
I don't know who Chris is. He also got a double high of being at the center of the 14 buzz. So did Asmongold. He managed, right? He managed. Anifusha was playing 14. She managed, right? Nagura was playing 14, if I recall correctly. Do not quote me on this. Maybe I'm speaking out of my ass. Maybe it was another female streamer and I incorrectly spoke about Nagura. They managed. I mean, Asmon isn't the fairest companion. Yeah, that's why like I spoke about Ani, for example, right? People managed. Those that didn't manage, maybe they didn't deserve to manage. Somewhat sabotaged himself. Yep, shot himself in the foot.
Which I felt to be pretty extreme, but maybe we can write this off as maybe some overzealous mod or something else. Just by association did Chris get banned, which is strange to me personally, but I'm just going to kind of put that out there, let you guys figure out what you want to do with that information. And at the end of the day, I personally hope this does not end in a lawsuit. You know, Pyro said he would come, you know, that would come my way if I obviously spoke about this stuff publicly. I'm not made of money. You know, got like 6 kids to feed and provide for. And so if it ends up coming down to that, hopefully I don't have to put out, you know, any kind of help me video or something of that nature. But guys, here's the thing. If you don't, you know, take anything.
What exactly from this would stand any reason to court? Like, what are you gonna say? Oh, someone called me negative stuff on the internet when they clearly said that it was their opinion. What the fuck?
Away from this video. If you see Pyro, obviously at FanFest, be nice to him. But note, he's there on a business trip. Like this is, you know, content creation is a business, whether we as gamers want to like that or not, you know, and that in and of itself, like, I hope that if you do hang out with him, that he's a wonderful person. I hope that he's a wonderful person in real life. And then we should obviously continue to encourage him to keep working on himself. But personally, I believe when, like, and the word that he uses, entity, that was a little bit, I don't know, like that did not was weird. Like, it's kind of hard to say. I didn't like that word. I thought it was weird, but I'm going to use his word. I feel the real entity in this case is Pyro, and the mask is Taylor.
What the fuck is Pyro, and who the fuck is Taylor? Like, is like Taylor the guy that is Pyromancer? What? And like he was earning enough money lately to afford someone who can beat him up. Hold on, there's a lawsuit. He threatened this guy, Ginger Prime, with a lawsuit if he came out here to speak about this shit. Which, in my opinion, who the fuck do you think you are coming out here threatening people? Like, holy shit. Pyro was trying to say Pyro is just an online persona. Yeah, nah. Sure. Listen. We, the creators, no matter how big or small, we do, up to an extent, get a persona out here. Yes, we overplay some things. You guys see this with comedy acts, right? You know, about like the comedian goes to extreme lengths, right? But this is his personality ramped up to 11. You cannot impersonate someone you are not, or associate with yourself with elements that are not yours for extended periods of time. You cannot, because people will see it. People will see the hypocrisy. You, me, him, her, everybody. We're not the smartest people, okay? No matter how smart you are, there's someone smarter. No matter how smart I am, there's someone smarter. No matter how strong I am, there's someone stronger. No matter how boldy I am, there's someone more bold. That's life, right? So nah. This ain't a fucking mask. So yeah, I agree. It's completely fucking bullshit. It just, your true colors are coming out. At the same time, Pyro isn't made out of money. I think so. Yeah, I mean, he did see to that himself. He did that to himself.
At this point, I do wish him all the best, and hopefully he's gonna start like actually making content for his YouTube videos and stop making apologies. I think that was what I was always hopeful for him, especially as a content creator, is that when Twitch is down, like YouTube could be up. But
Yeah.
you know, it is what it is. It's his choice to do what he wants, and I just wish him all the best. Thanks, guys, for hanging out with me, and yeah, I love you. Love your faces. Be good to one another. Everybody's going through hard times, and so you never know what's going on behind someone when the camera's off, right? So
Why do you care though? Why do you care what goes on behind someone when the camera is off? Why do you say people that you love them when you don't know them? I don't know, Ginger Prime, man. Like maybe you're like, maybe he's a bit like maybe he's more emotional than I am.
just be nice to people. I think that's the best thing we can do. Anyway, love you guys. Take care.
Cheers, man. Thanks for the video. Yeah, that was the video. Like I'm gonna link it here.